Good morning, everybody, and
Good
surprise, we're
morning.
here on a Thursday morning today.
I know.
Already.
Happy Thursday. And you know what? It's so nice because I almost feel like we get a long weekend,
Yeah.
welcome everybody to Thursday with friends, I guess. Instead of Friday with friends today, it's Thursday with friends. I almost messed it up there. I'm probably going to let Jennifer do most of the talking today because I have a cold that I'm struggling with and I'm all nasally. But welcome, Katrina, today with us. We are so excited. I am so excited to meet her and have her on. She's one of the more familiar leaders in our business community, and she is such an inspiration. So, thank you so much, Katrina, for coming on with us today.
Hello, friends. Hello, Jennifer. Hello, Charlene. Thank you so much for having me here. And yeah, I'm excited as well to
And
share
Katrina
with you
takes
and to you.
Fridays off. Isn't that so lovely to just be able to choose when you want to work?
I know. I saw that
Yeah.
post on your business page. I was like, yes, I do take the Fridays off.
I
It's
love
like
it.
my growth fun zone. Fridays are like for me for business development, personal development, focus. I do that the whole week, but that's like more focus on that. So that's
Yeah.
what I love.
Well, we have
And it's
Karen
so
C
important.
joining us. Yeah. And she said, "Hello, Katrina. Great to see you, my dear."
Oh, hey Karen. Hello. How are you? Nice
Oh
to
my
see you
goodness.
again. Oh my goodness. Our singer here.
So, as most of you know, Jennifer and I are here every week. I am Charlene. I have six kids and a bonus daughter, and they are all sick and running around upstairs. And we have a cat in labor today, so there could be some really interesting sounds in the background. So, just forewarning everybody. The life of going live when you work from home. So yeah, and I homeschool most of the kids, and that's kind of me in a nutshell. I'm from Northern Alberta, and I've been in this business almost 3 years, and I'm loving it, and I am not going anywhere. And yeah, take it away, Jennifer.
See, and welcome to whoever's coming in the background.
It's gonna be
And
me
this is
also
life.
in a few moments.
It's all
There
good.
we go.
It's all good. It's unscripted. It's our real life, right? So my name is Jennifer. I am from Northern Alberta as well. Uh, my husband and I, we have a blended family. We have two adult children and a school-age son. He's 10. I homeschool him as well for the past 2 years. And it's our dream was to actually travel in homeschool. So it went a little bit not as planned, but that's okay. We've really been having a lot of fun homeschooling, and being able to run our business and homeschool them at the same time has really um, blossomed him into really wanting to learn entrepreneurial skills. So he actually just is starting his own little business, and he developed a few things and stuff like that. So he's pretty excited about it, and I really, really enjoy sharing these days with him. You know, I didn't get that chance with my daughter when she was growing up. She was in daycare while I was working and going to school, etc. So it's like night and day in my parenting with my daughter and then my son. So it's really been a lot of fun. And I've been a business owner for 4 years, and just of course loving every minute of it, learning along the way. I mean, not every day is easy. There's ups and downs, of course, but such is life, right? And then today we have Katrina on with us. And so we'll let her introduce herself, and then she can just share a little bit of her journey, where she's at, what she's learned, how her day life work balances, all that fun stuff, right?
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. You know what? Before I share, can I just say I've been thinking about homeschooling for a while now. And I've you guys those watching, I've heard their story like for the first time, like on this live. So I think this is not, of course, there are no accidents, and I think I'll be learning a lot from you both of you ladies, and you're my mentor on this parenting journey. Well, I am from the what east side of Canada, here in Ontario. I'm specifically here in Toronto. I'm originally from the Philippines, and we've been here to Canada since 2016. Just like any regular immigrant story, trying to find that greener pasture on the other side of the fence. And I've been running my online business just like Jennifer and Shirley for quite some time now. 2 years, 2 years, 10 months. So it's gonna be our my third anniversary this coming what April, April 2020. Yeah,
It just kind of runs together. Hey,
I
after a
know.
while, you just get into it. It's part of your life.
What I know for sure is like what the age of my youngest is how long I am in the business, because I started when he was just 2 months old, and he
Aw.
was the the tipping point, if I can say that.
Yeah.
Because I've been trying to, my husband and I, we've been in this journey of trying to find that financial peace between career and family. And after 3 years of coming here to Canada, we realized, okay, we're still, quite far from the dreams that we are dreaming of. And so when I was about to have my maternity leave with our third son, and I will be going on, yeah, like leave. So here in Canada, we're grateful for the employment insurance for the parents, but I was anxious. I was scared because that would give leave us with like 55% of whatever salary I was getting. And my husband was a full-time student back then for his second career as an early childhood educator. We were both in the TV production, news and public affairs in the Philippines, and then he sent me to nursing school. Because the longer term plan was to practice nursing here in Canada, because we thought that's the only way to get ahead financially. We know that healthcare industry pays a lot, but the flip side of that is, of course, you're taking care of other people, but yourself and your family, right? It's kind of the irony of it. And then, so I was just looking for something extra because I wanted to fill in that miss. We're going to be missing that 45% from our household,
Yeah.
whatever is incoming. And then I saw an ad pop on my newsfeed. I was like, okay, what is this? But before that, like that was December 2018. I saw an ad January 2019. I was like, Lord, I'm scared. Show me something. I'm tired of just getting by, seemingly good paying jobs, but the time away from our children, and, we're exchanging time for money. And that's a truth. And I was like, show me something. I know it's the most logical thing that we need for us to have a different result. We need to be doing something different, right?
Mhm.
But it's sometimes the hardest thing to do. Right? So I was like, Lord, show me something, please. I don't want this anymore. I want, a financial breakthrough. And just a few short weeks after that, I saw, I was reading this book by Dave Ramsey. He's a financial expert in the US. And the title is The Total Money Makeover. And I just borrowed it from the library. It's a hard copy. And I'm reading that month. And I saw the ad, who are my mentors and coaches right now. Their ad on my news feed, their background is their bookshelf, and right there and then is the book that I was reading. Like, oh my goodness, they're also reading that book. So I was like, Lord, is this a sign? I just know that's not an accident. But I was like, okay, maybe this is something, looks very interesting. And I was like, okay, usually we have that connotation. Anything online, there must be something
Yeah.
hidden, something like that.
Yeah.
And but deep inside me, something's like really speaking to me. Okay, go check this out. You have all the freedom to do your due diligence and see
Yeah.
for yourself.
We
So
hear we hear that a lot. A lot of the people that we've actually had on here have said they had the same gut feeling, like there was something pulling them into this.
yeah, and it's
Yeah.
not really. I'm not maybe just a very tiny percentage, but more of I'm curious and I'm excited. And I didn't even finish watching the ad. I already snooped on their page. What are these guys doing? Like, if they're doing something illegal, why are they showing themselves? I Google them. I look everywhere and
Yeah.
I'm seeing them. So if they're doing something illegal, then I should not be seeing these. Like they wouldn't be
Yeah.
putting themselves, their families. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, this let's see. And that's how it all started. And the rest they say it was history. My husband was very skeptical at the beginning, but I do understand, like, going few years into the business, I realized they are all coming from whatever spouses, partners, family members, sisters, brothers,
Yes.
parents. They are all coming from a place of love.
Yeah.
Yes.
They don't want us to get into something that we would be sorry about, right? So, and I didn't see that from before. I was like, oh, he just doesn't like,
Get
but
get out of my way.
and I did not communicate that with him. Like, why am I trying this? This is not just for me. It's not because I just want to try something new, but it's for our family. So yeah, communication is key. Yeah, that was that
So
portion.
the one thing, you said that when you were coming into Canada, you guys felt like nursing was a good career, and you felt like a career that was laid out for you was something that you were supposed to do. Isn't it crazy that we are told our entire lives to stay in this box of you need to go to school, you need to get a career, you need a high paying job? I actually just put a post about this on my page. I'm like, my success is not a cushy job. My success is not where I stand in the ladder at, a big company. My success is how I'm raising my kids and how I'm spending my days. And at the end of my life, I'm hoping that my success is going to be that I'm happy,
Mhm.
you know, but we are all just put in this box. And it's so, before this business, I used to think it was so hard to come out of that box.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, it was also a challenge for me because my husband sent me to nursing school. Like, he paid
Mhm.
for all. Like, he paid more than my parents because with my parents, in my first course, which was broadcast communication, like, I think they prepaid some educational plans.
Yeah.
So it's like a total of like 50% off, something like that. And then my husband, here he comes, he needs to pay in full. And then that was, I think, one of the most challenging parts in our marriage because when I told him I was shifting into the life insurance industry, I practiced nursing for a year, and then he was like, do we have different dreams now? Do we have different north stars right
When
now?
did this change? When did I miss the
Yeah,
memo?
when did this happen? Like, I think that was the first time I saw him cry. Like,
Yeah.
really, we were both emotional. I was like, why are you crying? Then mind you, he's not that, he's not, he usually doesn't show his emotions like that. So I was like,
Yeah.
okay, this is a big deal for him,
Yeah.
right? Because that time we are on the verge of deciding whether to go here in Canada or not. And I had loved my life insurance career in the Philippines. I told somebody also just the other day, if I don't have this online business and I'm still in the Philippines, I'd still do that because I get to love that. But it's a breath of fresh air in this business that I don't need to do any prospecting, like the ones that I did before in that career. And yeah, realizing that we have, just putting things into perspective, that we have those the stories that we tell ourselves, like, okay, this is the
Mhm.
only way that we can get ahead in life, or this is the way that I should be parenting, this is the way that I should be doing this, blah blah blah. You do you, right? We do us, whatever
Yeah.
works best for us, however. But these are the options, so we kind of explore things on our end and then see if it's also something that will work for us, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's really huge. When you do a mind shift, things start really flipping over.
Yeah.
And yeah.
I'm not far from my dream. I have my kindergarten scrapbook, and when I grew up, I wanted to be a mom. So I'm good.
Aww,
I achieved my goals.
I
Who
love that.
needs a career?
And it's one of the most
Oh,
fulfilling, challenging,
Yeah.
emotion-filled
it
career
is
that we
like
can
a
ever have.
minefield of emotion, right? Every day is different and something. And I think I learn more from my kids than I've ever learned from anything else.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
actually, when you're as you're saying that, it brings me back to when my son was in school, in the physical classroom, and I'd go to parent-teacher interviews, and I'd listen to the teacher speaking about him, and I was like trying to comprehend some of the things she was saying because I didn't see that side of him at home. Right? He went to school for X amount of time during the day, then he'd come home, and our routine was quite different. You have your supper and you have your homework time, and then it's bedtime. You don't get to spend that much time with your child, you
Yeah.
know. And it was, so when she was explaining some of the things about him, I'm like, I don't see that side of him at home. But when I started homeschooling him and I became not just his mom, his parent, his mentor in our home setting, but also then his teacher in a school setting, then I realized it was like a light bulb moment. It was, I seen that side of what she was trying to explain, and I really, it made our bond that much stronger. It really did, because I seen him for who he was, like as a whole person, as a whole human. And like it was a very powerful moment. Like I cried. I really cried because it was so emotional, but it was so rewarding at the same time to see him. You know what I mean? I mean, we see our kids every day. We go about our life every single day, and it's no different when I was just talking with someone and they were talking about like how their husband and them are like on complete schedules. So when they see each other, they're passing each other through the door. They don't even have a life. And they have a little girl and. So what when it goes back to it where it's like being able to design your days and work from home, spend the time with your family and your loved ones, and still work. Like people think because we work from home, we're not working, we're just doing whatever.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of work that goes into what we actually do every single day,
Yeah.
and to be able to incorporate that with your family and bring it all together, it's powerful. It really is. And to be able to see people's lives changing and hear their success stories and hear like all the ups and downs along the way, that's what makes it so worthwhile. Like that's what we're here for.
You guys are inspiring me. Oh my goodness.
Wait till you read Karen's comment.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
our kids aren't being raised with someone else's values, a stranger's values. It's huge. Like I feel that I get so emotional when it comes to my family because my family has been ripped apart from me. I lost my dad, my sister was taken, her life was taken so tragically, and you don't know when it can just all disappear right in front of you.
Yeah.
So for me, my family is everything, and they are like I eat, sleep, everything, breathe my family. Like I do for what I wake up for every single morning, and when I go to bed, I thank the Lord for giving me this opportunity. I really
Yeah.
do.
That's beautiful.
They're the basis of my why for this business,
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
everything I do for them, everything we put into this business, time and everything, it's all for them. And I love that, we're all moms,
Yeah.
and all of our businesses, at the end of the day, are going to become our children's businesses,
Yeah.
and at that point, they won't even have to put as much effort into our businesses as we've had to. Like we're growing this huge foundation so that they don't have to, and they
Yeah.
don't have to have that struggle and worry in life.
And we're also showing our kids, the next generation, that it's okay to put yourself out there. It's okay to be vulnerable.
Yeah.
We're humans, we're not supposed to be like these robotic people that walk around emotionless and just like doing like a task that we're told to do every single day. You know what I mean? You go to work and you're like, okay, this is your job description for today.
Yeah.
We get to design our own job descriptions every single day. It looks completely different,
Yeah.
even though some of the things we're doing is repetitive.
Yeah.
But it's I don't know, unless you're actually in our shoes and experiencing it
Right.
on a day to day, it's really hard to explain.
Yeah, lots of great points in there. I was trying to grab a paper. I just got an envelope. I was trying to jot down the things that you guys are saying, and I just want to emphasize on 3 points. Like when you say, when you guys started, especially Jennifer, homeschooling your children, and yeah, we can all relate to that. Attending parent teacher conference, and then kind of, okay, is that my son? Is that my daughter that you're talking about? We kind of not see that other facet of them, right? And when you guys get to homeschool, you see that holistically, and that's one of the most priceless benefits of running a business, running it not just from our homes but anywhere that we go, as long as of course we have the internet connection and our devices, is that having that opportunity to see our children holistically,
Yeah.
and not just during meal times and bedtimes.
Yeah.
Right? So yeah, I really love that. Now you guys really got me thinking. Because sometimes you just need to hear it from another parent in real life, like, because there's so many doubts still.
Yeah.
The
It's a
stories that we
scary,
tell
it's a
ourselves,
scary,
can I
it's a
do that?
scary transition. Yeah.
Running a business,
Yeah.
running a toddler program in my home, like, but yeah, that's really a whole new, a different perspective as well. And when you also mentioned, yeah, we're building a generational wealth here, right?
Yeah.
I myself, I have incorporated the business, so
Hmm.
for those wondering how legal this is, well, that's how
Yeah.
legitimate
You can
it can
incorporate it. You can
right?
get to a point
Incorporating
where the government says this is a business and it's okay. Like,
and passing it on to our children's children, right? Just
yeah.
like what the proverbs say. And
Yeah.
I have this notion that, okay, whatever bondages financially our family tree has, it's going to end with me in our family, and it's going
Yeah.
to be, financially abundant from here on.
Yeah.
And that's the power, again, of one of the benefits, and that's what I've never thought that I'll be having in this business. I just thought of just something extra. Never had I imagined it
Yeah.
was something that, oh my goodness, really, I can incorporate. Now my husband and I are employees of our own business. So
Yeah.
that's another surprising. Okay, that's how it works. So I'm still growing into that, you know, um, grasping
Being
that
your own
idea
boss.
of the
Mhm.
corporation. But we've I've done it, and thanks to our accountant. And another one is when Jennifer mentioned there's really so much things going on. Like, people have that notion. Some people maybe have that notion that, okay, you guys are working from home, so you can do anything, you can do whatever. Well, yeah, that's kind of half truth. We can just stay home, we can just wake up whatever time that we want. But you know what I realized? It's actually, we have to be more accountable
Yeah.
with ourselves. Believe it or not, I wake up much earlier today. Not just today, but when I quit my job, my 9 to 5 in November 2020, I woke up earlier, like sometimes 4 or 5 in the morning. Why? What do? I work on myself. Like, I do meditation, prayers, gratitude practice. I read, I write my affirmations, visualizations. I've never done that before. Like, no, I would just read, I would just do one thing. But here, I realized the importance of growing myself first, like holistically,
Yeah.
so I can serve more,
Yeah.
of course, my family, and
Yeah.
then the business that I'm running, the people that I'm serving as well, people that I'm leading in
Yeah.
this business, right? And sharing value, because at certain point, I've realized that this business is bigger than me already. It's not just serving me and my purpose for my family, but the bigger purpose that, hey, this is already part of my mission, and it feels like sin if I don't share it. Like, I've been gifted with this power to inform others that, hey, there's another way. If you love your job, if you love your career, that's totally fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Go. I'm glad for you. But if you want to have a different option, maybe something that will break that financial bondage that you're having, then maybe this is also something that you're looking for, right?
Yeah.
So, and that structure in a day, it's very important. And I'm still trying to figure out what I'm always evolving in that aspect, because sometimes this something works, something doesn't. So now I've been doing time blocking. Like I have this, I'm using Google Calendar, so I would put schedules into time blocks, as you say. My 5 to 6 is my, my savers or miracle morning. I do my practice for myself, personal, emotional, spiritual growth, and then before I dive into my family, helping my husband with breakfast. But usually it's his, it's his part, and then sending off kids to school,
Yeah.
and then I would dive into my business. I need to. Do I follow those strictly? No, I know I have that structure. So
Yeah.
if whenever I feel lost, okay, what should I be doing at this hour? Okay, and then I'll refer to that. I try to stick to them as much as possible, because when you work online, there's so many temptations. You can go on TikTok like for an hour or two. It's so fun, but sometimes, yeah, it's some days are not as productive as others. So we define what's being busy and being productive,
Yeah.
right? So I think those are really key things that you guys also have mentioned, that we put structures in our day. No days are totally the same,
Yeah.
but we try to make sense of what works best for our family, for our children,
Yeah.
for ourselves, right?
It's really wonderful to be able to work around them. And, I started training with a different part of our community this week. And I had my I had my toddler like hanging off of me while I was on the computer, and he's just watching his Coco Melon, and I'm learning a new skill and contributing, and I don't get that at a 9 to 5. Like when I was, in insurance, I was maybe late twice because of my kids, and I was scrutinized for it. But there was, somebody else who was late every single day and not a word, right? So being at home and having him hanging off of me while I'm learning a new skill, and I mean, it's an incredible,
It's priceless.
yeah, it's
And
amazing. And all of my kids have picked up something from this business. They,
mhm,
I was recording videos for our training site committee, and my oldest daughter was sitting in the background watching the videos. Oh, I didn't know that. I'm like, yeah,
I
you
know,
know,
yeah, definitely. My sons would also be like, "Oh, mommy, how can you do that? How
yeah,
can you do this?" And my eldest was just taught me like some TikTok features that
yeah,
we
yeah,
both learned together.
yeah. Mine are teaching me TikTok too right now. Oh my goodness, that
I have a
TikTok.
moment, please. I'll
Yeah,
just.
no, that's
That's,
fine.
that's completely fine.
See, we all have to leave or have toddlers running in. Um, it's such a beautiful thing, though, that we can all sit here live and do this. And this is part of our business. This is part of our work. And you
Yep.
know what? Our kids are coughing or screaming in the background. And I mean, we do our best, obviously, to try to keep to the screen, but it happens, and it's fine, and it's life. And that's what this business is. It's real life.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
there you go.
yeah, like
My
it's
Completely
second
incredible.
for today. I have my toddler here. Yeah, so I think those are really powerful. And Karen is saying you're the kids, you control your time and schedule.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah, that's really powerful when you try to grasp your head around it. Okay, I think the first 3 months of me, after quitting my corporate job at an investment firm way back in November, I was like, oh my goodness, I call the shots. It's a honeymoon stage, the first 3 months. But after that, what I realized it, oh my goodness, yes, I call the shots, but now I have to be more accountable
Yeah.
to myself, because it's very tempting to do just mindless stuff, like just keep yourself busy with the activities that won't move the needle,
Yeah.
right? So it's it happens still to me. I'm not perfect,
Well,
but
life is so full of distractions.
yeah, and that's why it's very important. That's the first step. You have to be aware, and
Yeah.
then what will be the steps that you'll be doing, right?
Yeah.
And I think I also want to share, because I'm into different personal developments. I bought this training about how to be indistractable, like the word distract, because I was like, oh my goodness, this is very apt because I work online, we work online, and there's so many distractions
Yeah.
online.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's just so hard to not to give in.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll just watch a phone
Especially,
video.
yeah,
I'll just watch a phone
especially
video.
when your business is working on social media
Yeah,
platforms.
I know. And then all of a sudden, 30 minutes, 1 hour, I'm still here.
Yeah.
I just just one video, right? So I've been getting a lot of tips and tricks. I thought I'd share this, guys, with you. So yeah, it's the reality of working online. There are benefits, but of course there are also things that sometimes feels out of your control. But please realize that you always have a choice, right? And one of the key yes, Karen, yes.
Yeah,
I hear
every
okay,
social media platform I'm on knows my shopping history and is tempting me.
I know, right? And then when I was on TikTok, oh, TikTok made me buy it.
Yeah, I'm gonna try that one next time.
So you'll see them more, right? And I think one really key thing that I learned to be indistractable, like to minimize distractions as much as possible, especially working online, or whether you're not working online but you're home
Mhm.
working from home, and then you're employed.
Yeah,
Still, the distractions are everywhere.
Yeah.
Is I removed all my notifications,
yeah,
like every single thing, except for like the regular calls and texts, because
Yeah.
I know it's only my husband who would text
yeah,
me, right? My
Yeah.
aunt here, who's here, doesn't even text me, just on Viber. Because if it's emergency, my husband
yeah,
would call me, right?
Yeah.
So I remove everything, even if I'm working. I don't receive any notifications.
Yeah.
So I only log into my social media platforms, like, and being intentional about it. So, okay, I'll spend 30 minutes answering queries, answering things like that, or I'll go onto this other platform to address all the questions from the people that I lead, and then I'll get out of that. Being intentional, I think, with that is really key, because you get to channel your energy more
Yeah.
to other stuff, not just
yeah.
the social media, and just be mindlessly scrolling around, right? So I think that's really one key that I've been really thankful for the past, what, a month or so. There you
And that
go.
takes discipline to do that, right? You have to discipline yourself to do that, right?
Because it's easy to, okay, wow, okay, what did I miss? Okay, it feels like your FOMO, fear of missing out on something. And if I want to do focus work, like I dedicate like 30 minutes, an hour, I do a timer, and then I put my phone away.
Yeah.
So it's there's friction. It will take couple of steps to get it. I'll just not get it. Rather than, if my phone is here, well, it's in front of me right now because I'm trying to monitor us on the feed. If it's here, I can just grab it, and then, okay, 1 minute, and then all of a sudden you're 2 hours into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. I've been letting my phone die during the day and then charging it at night.
Mhm.
Um, that way it's on the charger at night and I work better at night. Jen knows she's like, you're still up, or, vice versa. Sorry.
Yeah.
And so I let it die all day. I don't charge it. I charge it at night. It's in another room and I sit down and I do what I need to do first thing in the morning. I say good morning to our team. And right now, because I'm training, I go through and check up on some updates in what I'm training on. But other than that, I don't really do anything on my phone except for our lives until after lunch, if it can be helped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
6 to 8 p.m. is my what, phoneless,
Yeah.
phoneless, or no,
Yeah.
no gadgets, whatever, because that's
Yeah.
the time that we have everywhere.
I feel like I spend so much time on the computer, and I mean, some days it's only a couple of hours and some days it's more, but
Mhm.
for our business, and for our homeschooling and blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah. And so I just feel like I don't want my kids to think that it's okay to just be on it all the time. So
Mhm.
I try really hard to set that example for
They
them, but
watch us,
it's
right?
hard. Especially when they're coming to you like, "Mom, can you play my homescapes for me?" No, I'm working. Maybe just one level. But yeah, I don't know. It's, we intentionally, like Karen, yeah,
I love
intentionally
that, Aaron. Yeah.
Yeah.
intentionally plug in so we can intentionally unplug. And I do that all the time. I will work really hard so that we can take a day off or take a weekend off. And
Mhm.
I am always 100% there for my mentees and anybody that needs me on our team. I try very hard to be here for them for the most part. But other
Mhm.
than that, I'm like, there's no Facebook, there's no TikTok, there's no, like, on the weekends we're going to do a games or movie or family dinner. And yeah, we definitely try to set aside those chunks of time.
Yeah.
And it's nice that we can. If I was working, I came from an insurance job previous to this business, and I would come home, and there was no way if I wanted to stay caught up that I could do that. I couldn't just be like, you know what, I'm going to leave my work at work because tomorrow I would be putting in 12 or 14-hour days. like it wasn't happening, and I'd have to bring it home. And the balance is incredible here. And
Mhm.
I've been in retail where you have inconsistent schedules. I've worked the midnight shifts and saw my kids for an hour as I'm walking out the door. Have a nice night, enjoy your dinner, good night, love you, sweet dreams, and I'm off to work. And then get up and they're off to school. I mean, it's not a life.
And Jennifer mentioned that a while ago as well, off cam, like husbands and wives, they're just seeing each other and
Yeah,
just literally by the door. And I've spoken to so many people
yeah,
we've helped get started online, that's their pain point. Like,
yeah.
well, we see each other like when we exchange keys by the door.
Right?
He or she will sleep and I'll go off, or he or she will, my wife or husband will take care of the kids as I go to work, and then we just exchange shifts. Like,
Yeah,
it's yeah, it's a harsh reality. That's why,
yeah,
speaking with almost 500, like 490 plus individuals and families online wanting to get started,
Yeah.
is that the realization that we are all from different backgrounds, cultures, but at the end of the day we all have that same why of both
yeah.
time and financial freedom. It's more the time freedom, because you can always earn more money but you can never
Mhm.
have more time.
Yeah.
Yeah, time is that non-renewable resource, right? It's that
Yes.
one thing we don't get back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. I just actually had to go live about that. Like, the other day, what's our most precious resource, which is non renewable, is our time.
Yeah.
And time again, it was emphasized just last week when we went to a resort here in Ontario, Great Wolf Lodge. I put it on my page as well. It was a Thursday and Friday, and I just booked it like Wednesday. Like, okay, I told my husband, I got it. I booked. Okay. And then it's good because we had like what, about 300 $400 discount because it's a weekday,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and I wouldn't be able to do that with them, with the kids, if I was still employed, and that's the beauty of it. Oh my goodness, like realizing I'm able to do that whenever, we can do that whenever, wherever we want. It's priceless.
One
Yes.
of my favorite quotes I've been sharing actually on our program quite a bit lately is children spell love Time. At the end of the day, they just want your time.
Yes.
Mhm.
You know, I mean,
Yeah.
if I go up and ask my kids what their best Christmas gift was or what they want for their birthday, it's always an experience, like
Mhm.
a family experience or something that, brings us together. It's not a material item. So that's one of my favorite quotes lately.
TM.
Children spell love,
Yeah.
Time. Yeah.
It's
Well,
amazing.
well, we are hitting the 40-minute mark, and we usually go about half an hour or so. And no, we have gone to an hour. Like we could keep going. I mean, it all is just we just have a nice
It's
casual
lovely
talk.
chatting with you, ladies. I'm
Yeah, I
learning
love
a
it.
lot. And
I
I
have
think
one.
that's pretty much another wonderful thing about this business is like we haven't met personally, like in person, but meeting you guys and other individuals online that we won't be able to meet had it not because of the business, and then widening our horizons, our perspective, and just having somebody as a sounding board. Oh, okay, it's not just me. Other parents, other moms out there are also experiencing this.
Yeah,
Okay, I got this. You got this. You
yeah,
got this. Whoever you are, you're watching this. You got it.
yes. And we're all here to support you. I mean, we've mentioned, we're not connected. I mean,
Yeah.
Jennifer and I have met, but we're not connected in the business at all.
Yeah.
I've never met Katrina personally. I follow your page. I follow, when you're on our masterminds. I know your story. I love you, and we just support one another. And I'm so appreciative of you coming on here today. Karen has a question. Katrina, in less than 3 years, your success has been wonderful. How long would you have to work at your traditional job to reach that kind of
Oh
success?
my goodness. Uh, if I will take into, I think because the most tangible measurement would be the annual salary. So let's take that for example. Maybe it would take me what, maybe 10 years because my reference was I have two bosses and an investment firm. I love them. I think they love me. We parted in very good terms. I was just joking my mentors and coaches when I was about to, when before I handed my resignation. I was like, okay, I was just joking. If I earn as much as my boss or any one of my boss, I would quit my job. Be careful with what you wish for. And
Well, yeah.
when I hit my that amount that my boss was earning, I was like, oh my goodness, this is for real. I was like, okay, I need to really think things through. And just coming from that, because I know they've been in that field for like at least 15 years already. So maybe, yeah, Karen, my answer to that is like maybe 10, 15 years. And here it's just less than 2 years. Of course, we would always say it's not a get rich quick scheme,
Yeah.
but definitely way faster than the traditional, okay, climb the corporate ladder. There's nothing
Yeah.
wrong with that. I've been
Yeah.
an employee all my life before finding the business. It's just that, but yeah, thank you for
I
that
have
question, Karen.
I have a thought, and then I have a question that we ask all our guests. But have you ever seen the comparison? So you go and you get your groceries, let's say. So you just spent $250 on groceries. How many hours would you have to work to pay that off? So instead of that grocery trip being worth $250, it was X amount of hours that you would have just worked.
So
So
that would be, I'm now
yeah,
confused.
right.
I'm getting my calculator. So that would be, uh,
It would be like 2 days of work
it
for
would be like 11 days of work for me in my regular job. Oh,
yeah.
oh no, 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 yeah. Yeah, wait. No, no,
Wait,
no, no.
what's 15
That's
math?
math.
Gotta get my calculator
Oh,
up.
yeah. About two
10
and a half
hours?
days. Yeah.
Yeah, it would be 2 or 3 days
hours.
for me. Yeah.
2.5 days.
In insurance, it would have been 2 or 3 days for me to be able to afford those groceries.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think I also saw a post like that. Like when you buy Starbucks, you're not buying like a $10
Yeah.
coffee. You're buying like half an hour of your work,
Yeah.
funding it with half an hour of work, right?
If you
So
actually break down everything that you do in a day or a week or what you want to do with your kids, that is mind blowing
Yeah.
to
I know.
me.
That is powerful.
Yes,
Um,
even if just little 30 minutes of this, and then when you compile it into a year,
yeah.
that's the amount of days that you're spending mindlessly on something, like maybe
Yeah.
social media or whatever.
Yeah.
Right? So really, mindfulness and intentionality of in everything that you do, whether it's work, time with your kids. And
Yeah.
I'm guilty of that. Like, hands up. Sometimes it feels like I'm thinking something else. I think it's our thing, moms. Like, we're in something, but our minds are haywire
Yeah.
thinking
Yeah.
something else. But just being present with our kids, I think that's both a challenge and a gift for us, especially as they say, uh, hours or days are long, but the years are fast.
Yes.
Yes. I
Right?
like
Yes.
that.
Like, I have a 13-year-old now. Where did the time go? But it's a good thing we still have the 3-year-old,
Yeah.
right?
I
And
always tell my kids, I'm like, I just got another do-over. I should get those shirts. I've seen people make those shirts like this is the original, this is the remix, this is the recording, this is the do-over.
Yeah.
Wow. So the last question that we always ask everyone is for anyone feeling stuck out there, whether it's work, relationship, life, what would your advice be to somebody who is feeling stuck?
you always have a choice.
Yeah.
You can always do something about it. As they say, you're not a tree. Move. Trees move. They get they get planted elsewhere.
Yeah.
You always have a choice. I think
Yeah.
you always have the power, and it all starts with your mind setting. It
Yeah.
may sound cliche, but it is that it all starts with that. And it's not just my personal experience, with others as well. Like, because when I started, okay, and also start asking yourself the right questions. If you're seeing this, if you've been following Jennifer and Charlene for a while and still wondering what the heck are they doing online, if you're just following them silently, not commenting or watching this on a replay, and been thinking, okay, what are they doing? Ask yourself, what if I make it work as well? What if it works for me as well? And that's the question that really started for me as well. Like, I'm seeing these success stories other people are having, quitting their jobs, paying off mortgages, having more travel memories with their children and their families. I was like, oh my goodness, what if they're making it work? What if
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
also make that happen,
Yeah.
right? And just imagining, because your brain, you can trick your brain, like, you can trick your mind, imagining, visualizing the things that you want. Your mind doesn't really can't recognize what's real, what has happened, and what hasn't yet,
Yeah.
right? So that's the key. When you visualize that, when you start with your mind setting, you attract all the things that will really pave the way into achieving those goals,
Yeah.
whatever that you set it for yourself. Like, you want something tangible? This place here, this building that we're living right now, this is like, I think, a 3-year-old building. And we transferred here, what, 2020. So it will be our 2 year, second year this year. Prior to moving to this building, we live in a 5-year-old apartment. I've mentioned that, I think, in some Go Lives as well. We lived there for about 3 years, and I was pregnant with our third son. We experienced bed bugs, and it's not the most beautiful thing, I will tell you. It was my birth month, and we had to pack everything up so they can clean it, because it's not good for a pregnant woman's body. So we checked into this 2-star hotel, and it was like an emotional moment for me. I'm not telling my husband, of course, but kind of have a little birthday celebration. But deep inside me, oh my goodness, I would never want to experience this again, because I have to pack. My husband have to pack. My children have to move, and then and that was the time. Even prior to that, I'm already seeing this building being built, and I was imagining what would it feel like living in that new building. And you know what I did? Because somewhere, sometime I read, you have to touch your dream. I went into the rental office, when this building was built, like first year. And I know we couldn't afford it yet. That's the powerful word, yet. But I still went inside. I inquired, like I can afford it. So what's one bedroom, two bedroom rental fee would be? And then they mentioned it to me. I was like, I'm just smiling, but deep inside me, oh my goodness, I want to live here. How can I afford this? Asking asking the right questions to yourself. And I left there half heartbroken, half hopeful. I know deep inside me, okay, someday, I'm not closing doors. And then when the time comes that we are ready to move forward, move from our apartment, that was a year after running the business. I actually forgot about this building. We were looking around the neighborhood. you know not all the boxes have been ticked. Okay, we were like ready to, okay, maybe it's not yet the time to move. And you know what? I realized, okay, we haven't checked this building out. And the rest is history. I checked, and then we were able to move here a few weeks after. I was like, oh my goodness. And here I was, and I was trying to have that trip down memory lane when I walk into the apartment rental office. And now it's for real. They're asking all the documents. Okay, your employment history, blah blah blah. And then here you go. So yeah, dreams do come true. I touched my dream physically that moment I entered the rental apartment, and now we're here. We're living here, enjoying the amenities, minus the bed bugs.
Yeah. No extra guests lounging off of you.
Yeah, and it all started with a mindset, with a dream, and I water that dream every single day. And you have to. I was listening to Joel Osteen's podcast almost every day, and this morning he said, you have to believe with expectation.
Mhm.
Farmers believe they will have a harvest. They just not believe, they expect it. And you have to water that belief and expectations every single day,
Yeah.
right? And it's not going to be an overnight success. You have to work in it. You have to devote your time, your energy, your mind setting. You have to learn skills. 80/20, 20%. Yes, social media skills are hugely important in our business. That's the main thing that we do. But I wouldn't be doing that if my mindset is not in its proper perspective. So 80% mindset. If you have that hunger for change for yourself, for your family, you would do anything to learn the skills, to be tech savvy. You don't need to be tech savvy, but if you are hungry enough to have that change, you'll do anything to learn stuff that you're not familiar with. I'm now hungry to always have more leadership knowledge so I can serve my people better, and to be here, to be sharing and to make your time valuable, both of you and the people watching here, Karen here, we're watching Jennifer, um, and all the people who will be watching this on a replay. I want to make this worth your while. And it's happy to be chatting with you ladies, connecting. But at the end of the day, we want to impart values to other parents, other individuals, other professionals out there, staying home, whether staying home or not, and get some value out of this. Thank you, Karen. Crying happy tears for you. Yeah, dreams do come true when you touch them in a vision. Yeah, absolutely.
I feel like I was
That's
just telling Jennifer the other day that my dream is to live on the Heartland Ranch. So I think I now need to road trip down to Heartland and touch the barn. That's my dream. I'm going to go touch it.
Yes, it's powerful because you give yourself a holistic. I think that's the word for today. Like a holistic experience. You touch it, you feel it, you can almost taste it, right?
Yeah.
Imagining it, like just closing your eyes, imagining what would it feel like to be in that position, and savor it, and you'll be pumped to go for it. So you
Yeah.
got whoever you are watching right now, you got it. If you're feeling unstuck, if you're feeling stuck, you can always feel unstuck. You can always unstuck yourself.
I love it.
Oh, I just love her. She's so full of wisdom. She Just a
And
beautiful.
we get this all the time. We are so blessed with the people in our community, the leaders in our community. I'm losing my voice, sorry. With our masterminds, we have weekly trainings, and these are the people that are teaching us how to be successful in our business. They're giving us tips and tricks. They're not keeping it to themselves. This isn't a one for all business. This is a very much
All for one.
one of the quotes. Yeah, one of the quotes that was floating around for a little while was, how did it go? I can't remember it. It was um, I can't remember what it was off the top of my head, but basically along the lines of, I want you to win too. Do you remember what that quote was? I can't remember what it was exactly, but it was floating around in our community, and I just loved it because it's true. We all want each other to win. We want to share our successes so that somebody else can learn and implement it into their own story, and maybe they'll get success from it. I mean, we just support one another, and it's just a beautiful community. So
It really is.
you can finish up, Jennifer. I'm losing my voice, so
It was a pleasure having you on with us today, Katrina, and hearing a little
Thank
bit
you.
more into your story. We will be forever grateful for you, sharing and just putting yourself out there, and not just for ourselves, but all of our viewers too, because every time we have a guest on, they share something so personal and it's so deep, and you never know who your message is gonna resonate with. And that's the beautiful part of the platform that we have is we have, social media platforms of all sorts, and we get to pick and choose where we want to be present, and where we want to be, more vulnerable and put ourselves out there to spread our message, because we all have a message to share with others. And so thank you for taking the time today to share this day with us this morning, and putting your story out there for the world.
Thank you. Thank you as well for you guys always being consistent on your business page, sharing things like this to your audience. And I love things like this because I also get to learn myself. We get to know ourselves more as we share with others. And yeah, it's kind of a reminder for me as well. The times I was beginning.
That's the quote.
There you go. We are not. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, we're not in competition because I want you to win too, or I can't compete with you because I want you to win too. I mean, it rings true in our community. So thank you, Karen. Yes, that's the quote right down there.
Thanks, Karen. Thanks, Jennifer.
All right. Yeah. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. And we'll see you next week on Friday at 9 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. So we'll see you then. Thank you so much, Katrina.
Thank
It
you
was
so much,
such a
Shirley,
beautiful time.
Jennifer, Karen, Jennifer on the comment section. Thank you, everyone. Have
Bye,
a blessed day.
everyone.
Yeah, thank you.